This is Dr. Mercino. Today we're going to be looking at SCP-8012, Object Class Safe, Special Containment Procedures. SCP-8012 is to be kept within the kitchen of Site-327 and interacted with only during its 2 daily feedings. Description: SCP-8012 is a sentient frog wearing a conical wizard hat who appeared in the center of Site-327's kitchen on August 4th, 2023. Upon arrival, SCP-8012 began repeatedly requesting the presence of the Chosen One, insisting that it would not leave the kitchen until they were found. Notably, SCP-8012 has provided no elaboration on whom the Chosen One is or what will occur once they are found. As such, the Foundation has opted against searching for the Chosen One entirely. An email saying, "Hello, Dr. Clemens. Just following up on the oversight in my introductory briefing. What's the protocol on the frog in the kitchen? It's saying that I'm the chosen one, and the time is now. What's more, a glowing portal appeared and is trying to shove me in. I wouldn't have bothered you, but just shouted, 'I cast spell of get in the stupid portal,' and I'm starting to worry. Thank you, Pablo Smith." Pablo: "This is not normal. Disengage from the frog and exit the area immediately. Doug." Pablo. Feed begins. Pablo is seen facing in front of the glowing yellow rift in the doorframe, and glancing at his phone, a number of voices can be heard from people attempting to enter the door from the other side. "I'm not sure you understand, sire. You are the chosen one. That's why it is imperative that you go through the portal of whimsy and wonder." SCP-8012 is ineffectively jumping against Pablo's shins. Pablo is entirely unfazed, and he is significantly heavier than SCP-8012. Pablo turns and crouches down. "Hey, little man, your funky portal seems fun and all, but I really need this job, and whatever that portal is seems like a great way to lose it." SCP-8012 stops hopping. "But sire, you do not have an opportunity for whimsy and wonder?" "I really don't need any more whimsy and wonder in my life, little man. I'm sure you can understand that." "What if I told you there was a vast treasure behind the portal, sire, untold treasures beyond your imagination?" "Buddy, I don't need untold riches. I need the told riches. Getting those told riches is why I need to go talk to this guy." "Please." Pablo puts his hand against his temple. Under his breath, "Today of all days." He goes to the bench and sits down, slumping silently. "Sire." SCP-8012 hops, frustrated, side to side. "What now?" "You said that you don't need to go see your lord, sire, but I don't think he makes you very happy." "I never said I liked, but I can assure you, you'll love the adventure behind the portal, so please, sire." Pablo puts his head in his hands, speaking through them. "And you won't move no matter what." "You will starve long before I do, sire, if that's the question." Pablo looks up. "Not really." "Oh, apologies, sire. But if you really won't move, I guess I have no other choice." SCP-8012 does a small hop in place. "Really? I mean, I guess." "Huzzah!" Pablo takes a few steps forward. "So I just step in?" "Simply as that, sire, yes." "Well, here goes nothing." He steps into the rift, and SCP-8012 and the portal disappear immediately afterwards, a pile of flowers taking their place. A few moments pass, the lights shut off, and the feed ends. "Greeting, Dr. Clems. You have been idle for error hours. Refresh. Clearance confirmed. Loading new addendum." Presenting SCP-8012, The Hero's Journey. On February 18, 2024, Pablo Smith entered the Site-327's kitchen while visiting the site for an interview, and engaged in conversation with SCP-8012, prompting the object to dump him the Chosen One, and summon a semi-stable rift in the entryway. Pablo Smith then entered the rift, causing a site-wide total loss of power lasting 10 minutes. The following footage on the 23rd floor bathroom was recovered, starting immediately from the point at which the power returned to the facility. Begin log. Pablo falls from the ceiling and lands loudly in the third stall. SCP-8012 appears on his head. Ouch. And our magical venture begins. The bard will forever sing tales of Sir Pablo Smith and Wigglebert the Great. Pablo slowly stands while rubbing his head and limps out of the bathroom. Ugh. Log end. Anonymous motion logs reveal that Pablo Smith wandered in the site hallways for approximately 10 minutes before the following log was captured. Begin log. Pablo stumbles into the director's office with SCP-8012 perched on his shoulder, a small cut on his head that has begun to bleed. Hello? Dr. Clemens? He looks around. The room is empty, but it is in a state of disarray. How mysterious, sire. Pablo walks around, picking up assorted papers and the pencils from the ground, and notices that the computer is running. He walks over. Pablo stares at the computer. Sire? Yeah, Wilgobert. Sire. Sure, bud. SCP-8012 appears sad despite there being no changes in its facial expression. What is it? Oh, the Lord's scrying machine, sire. Pablo looks at the desktop for a few more moments. Yeah? He grabs the mouse and tries to click on various applications. Nothing happens. He then clicks on the application called Security Footage Important. This does nothing, bud. Just a moment, sire. A nearby printer activates and begins printing. Instead of the sounds typically emitted from a printer, the sounds of a flute can be heard. Pablo notices the noise and walks slowly to the printer. Okay. He picks up the one on top. God, sire, a dragon. He picks up the next one. And an attack the keep. He picks up the last one. And kidnap the Lord and all his constituents. SCP-8012 beams at Pablo. Am I supposed to get something from these? Isn't it obvious, sire? A dragon has kidnapped all your friends, and now you have to save them. Pablo looks down once more at the security footage, then turns a blank expression towards SCP-8012. They stand in silence for approximately 30 seconds. Isn't it exciting, sire? A quest! They stand in silence for another 30 seconds. Buddy, these are drawings. Whatever do you mean, sire? This is MS Paint. No, sire, you must find this dragon, which has obviously kidnapped all those who you hold dear, and slay it. Okay, sure. How do I say it? I do that then. SCP-8012 gasps. A tiny lute manifests from its hands. I have just the perfect way to tell you. Ahem. It begins to strum the lute. As it plays, the music is off-key and does not follow a set of rhythm. To the greatest of heroes in all of the land, because all of his friends have been taken from him. By a mean, ugly dragon who is very mean. How to slay that mean dragon, I will have to explain. Oh, the 3 ancient relics scattered across the land, hidden in tricky trials that some weirdo has planned. He will become the greatest who has ever been great, and the mean, ugly dragon will be rightly slayed. Alrighty then, come on. Ready, sire? Huzzah! Yep, let's get this over with. End log. Following the events in the previous log, Pablo equipped a body camera and left Site 327 building. 10 minutes later, he was spotted entering a nearby retail store. The following log was complied with a combination of store's internal security cameras and Pablo's body camera audio and footage. Begin log. The pair walks into a retail store. Pablo is rolling a shopping cart with SCP-8012 sitting in the child's seat. I see, sire. There is a great abundance of artifacts in this superstore. He rolls into the cookware aisle. Tons of equipment here to look at, right? A most abundantly supplied, sire. They pursue for a few minutes in silence. Pablo puts various medical and camping supplies into the cart, and they enter a new aisle. SCP-8012 steadily hops out. God, sire, look at that! Pablo looks over at the wall of office supplies. What is it, bud? SCP-8012 hops into a pile of safety scissors. Ancient blades, and so many of them. Pablo nods and slowly picks up 8012 and putting him back in the cart. Isn't it magnificent? I don't think those are gonna do us much good, pal. Actually, let's go check out this stuff out. I think we've gotten all the equipment we need. He rolls the cart to the man cash register and nods at the cashier. Did you find everything all right? Yep, I think this is everything. Great. The cashier gets to work scanning each of the items and loading them back into the cart. Beep, 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 beep. A minute of beeps pass before Pablo pays. We hope you come back soon. The cashier hands him a coupon. He looks down at it. Have a good day. You too. He wheels the cart away and near the doors. SCP-8012 hops onto Pablo's arm. What is that little card, sire? Pablo looks back at the coupon still in his hand. Oh, nothing much. It's just a coupon for... He squints. It says I can get a helmet of helmets and retrieve 3 wild ducks. I see, sire. A side quest. I'm not really sure what a helmet of helmeting is meant to be, but it sounds magical. Useful? It could indeed be, sire, but I'm not sure getting distracted, and you haven't really given me any proper leads onto what to do, right? Well, yes, sire, but that would ruin the fun of the adventure, so, well, I think that's that then. Time for some side quests. If you say so, sire. They exit the store. After leaving the retail store, Pablo went to a nearby public park and utilized a net he purchased to capture 3 wild ducks. After returning to the store, he retrieved the helmet of helmeting from the cashier along with an additional coupon, allowing him to change an empty pack of chips for gauntlets of crispness. He fulfilled this in addition to retrieving each of the following. Quest. Retrieve cheaper gasoline from across state borders. The cheapest of cheapskates. Complete. Steal 10 random people's mail. The leggings of the greater Chicago metropolitan area. Complete. Defeat a fly in Mortal Kombat and retrieve its corpse. The boots that are really cool. Complete. The orb. Complete. Gather 500 leaves from each from different trees. The giant blade of George Bigman. Complete. Collect every Funko Pop. The state of unbelievable magical power. Incomplete. In the retail parking lot, shortly after retrieved the previous coupon, the following log was captured. Begin log. Pablo stands in the center of a parking lot covered head to toe in shining armor and wielding a massive silver blade. SCP-8012 is sound asleep on his shoulder. Hey, bud. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. He prods at SCP-8012. Ah! Who goes there? Oh, sire, it's just you. Not sure who else it would be, bud. Well, sire, there are actually... Mine, that's not sire. Have you finally decided to continue your quest? I'd be more happy to play the song again if you need help getting back on track. A loot manifests into SCP-8012's hands. Ahem. Wait. SCP-8012 turns its head to the side slightly. I think I'm just about ready to face the dragon, actually. You are, sire. SCP-8012 turns into the shopping cart and back to Pablo. You don't seem nearly well enough equipped to face a dragon. What I have, right? Of course, sire. The magical swords and armor. Yes, sire, it's just... But I'm ready. Just tell me where it is. SCP-8012 lets out a whine. If you really think so, sire, you see, I'm very worried. Of course, bud, I get that. And if you get hurt due to my negligence, gods, how would I ever recover, sire? That's really nice, bud, but I'm really sure I'll be fine. SCP-8012 croaks loudly. Maybe we can compromise, sire. Compromise? What sort of compromise? Well, I think I'd be willing to give you the location of the defeated cavern if you took at least one artifact with you. At very least. Artifact? SCP-8012 turns to the retail store. Oh, yeah, those safety scissors, right? Ancient blades, sire. Yeah, I can do that, easy. SCP-8012 lets out a sigh. Gods, oh gods, thank you, sire, but, oh... SCP-8012 shudders. To approach the featured cavern so soon, it puts chill in me, sire. But I shall put those aside, and your request, not mine. Great, thank you. Should we get back to it then? SCP-8012 takes a deep breath and exhales. At your lead, brave hero. They walk towards the retail store and log. After purchasing safety scissors within the retail store, Pablo Smith traveled to the address of the featured cavern which SCP-8012 provided. The following log was compiled and combining body camera footage with internal and external security cam footage from the designated building. Begin log. The pair can be seen walking down a road in a suburban neighborhood. Pablo remains full clad in his armor and brandishing his blade. It should be right about here. Pablo leans over, catching his breath and looking around. Suddenly, SCP-8012 gasps. God, sire, the featured cavern. I never thought I'd live to see it. Huh? Oh. He looks at the address he scribbled on the note card and it sits scrunched up in his gauntlet. The house? Isn't it hideous, sire? Pablo squints. I mean, decisions were certainly made while building it. I wouldn't call it feated, exactly. It seems the eye of the hero is much kinder than that of the wizard, sire. Yeah, sure. Let's get to it then. He walks up to the door and knocks on the door. A bold approach, sire. They wait a few seconds. Pablo rings the doorbell, then moves to peek through the window. Don't think anyone's home. Well, yes, sire. The dragon will certainly be buried deep within the depths of this horrible place, guarding its little rotten gains in the metering stupor. Pablo tries the door, confirming that it's locked. Alas, sire, if only you had the great ancient relic, the key of all keys, the friend to all locks, the... Smash! SCP-8012 gasps as Pablo drives his gauntlet through the window and unlocking it from the inside and pushing it open. In we go then? I suppose so, sire. SCP-8012 hops inside. Pablo takes an additional few minutes figuring out how to get his fully armored body through the window frame. So where is this dragon, bud? I wonder. SCP-8012 hops in a wild circle around Pablo, then stops. I can feel a dark energy this way, sire. Shall we follow it? Yeah. Pablo exhales and closes his eyes for a moment. Let's do this. Pablo follows SCP-8012, starts carefully hopping down hallways and around corners. Hard footsteps and metal clinks echo through the wide interior of the house. Whispering, You should be more quiet, sire. You never know when the horrid beast could strike. I'm trying, but SCP-8012 freezes mid-jump right in front of one of the hallway doors. Bud? SCP-8012 begins to spin in place. It's here, sire. Oh gods, this incomprehensible feeling of dread, the terror. SCP-8012 falls and lands with a splat. After a moment it stands up, shaking itself a bit, then hops into Pablo's shoulder, nestling into the safe nook in his armor. I can lead you no longer. Pablo nods. That's fine, bud. I've got this. Pablo centers himself in front of the door and raises his left arm to a handle. It squeaks as he grabs it and begins to turn. Clack! A sharp noise resonates as the latch opens. Pablo pulls. Creak! Okay. As soon as the door opens, he charges in, finding the center of the room and entering a guarded stance. He looks around. Where is the... God, sire, right there. Pablo lowers his sword and drops his guard, shuffling over to the dragon. It's just, the time has come for you to slay the dragon, sire. Take up your arms and slay it with haste, quickly. Bud, calm down. Is the goal of your quest, sire. You must do what has been done, please. Pablo reaches out his hand to pet the dragon, attempts to bite him, and just ends up gnawing on the gauntlet finger. You're just a grumpy fella, aren't you? Aw, aren't you? The dragon hisses and goes for another bite. Probably just hungry. Pablo looks around. What in the world are you doing, sire? Just 1 second, bud. He spots a potted plant sitting on the windowsill and walks over. A number of bright red strawberries can be seen between the lush leaves. Sire? Pablo pulls on one of the berries. Just gonna... The vine goes taut as he pulls, but doesn't break. Pablo pauses as a moment he pulls against, and neither the pot, dirt, nor plant shifts or snap. What in the... Maybe, Pablo attempts to take his blade to the stem, but finds it much too large to fit in the windowsill properly. He tries various angles to approach and lower his blade with a huff. Ha ha ha, great. He drops the sword and it lands with an echoing clatter. They stand in silence for a few seconds. No, never. What is it, bud? No, nothing, sire. Carry on, you know better. Pablo sighs. Wilgobert, what is it? Oh, sire, it's just... It hops out from the nook of its armor. What if you tried the ancient blades? Pablo pauses, contemplating. How would... Pablo sighs. You know what? Sure, let's give your idea a shot, Wilgobert. SCP-8012 appears incredibly proud despite there being no change in its facial expression. Pablo reaches his hand into his pouch and by his side, procuring the ancient blades. Here goes nothing. He raises the ancient blades daintily, leaning over to position them around one of the berry stems. Snip. It cuts cleanly, dropping the berry into Pablo's waiting other hand. He brings the strawberry up to his face and smiles. Wonderful. He turns and walks carefully over to the dragon, brandishing the luscious fruit. As he approaches, the dragon opens its mouth. Snap, gulp. Sire, he accepted it. The dragon stomps in a tight circle and tips onto its back, tapping its belly with its feet for a few seconds, then falling immediately asleep. Aww, he pats its belly. The beast does not seem much more manageable while asleep. So, quest complete. SCP-8012 pauses, looks between Pablo and the dragon a few times. I don't actually... over there. SCP-8012 turns off to the side. Pablo follows the direction it points and finds it covered by a sheet. How mysterious, sire. He pulls off the sheet, revealing a birdcage. Gods, the soul prison. But where are your friends? There's something inside. Pablo opens the cage and reaches in. What's this? Oh, of course, sire. No quest is complete without rescuing a princess. Congratulations. A plot could be heard. Huh? Your quest is complete. Oh, The lights shut off immediately. Immediately after conclusion of the prior log, all houses within 1 mile radius of the featured cavern experienced total loss of power lasting 10 minutes. Following this, all of Site-327 staff manifested randomly in safe locations within the radius. Notable Site-327 Director Doug Clemens, owner of the estate dubbed the featured cabin, manifested within the property. The log was captured shortly after the power outage ceased. Begin log. Begin log. Pablo stands in front of the birdcage, still in full armor and holding the prince's paycheck and SCP-8012 in his hands. Director Clemens can be sitting somewhat blank-faced in a chair off to the side. So what you're saying is, Clemens put his hand on his forehead, you went on a fantasy adventure from site building across the city into the suburbs where you aimed to slay a dragon, but instead of completing it by feeding my little Lizzie a strawberry... Yes, sir. And 8012? Wilgobert the bard, sir. Yes, and 8012, you are now satisfied with staying in our care with no issues? As long as I continue to tell the epics of Sir Pablo Smith, sir, yes. Clemens looks left and right while making various outward motions with his hands. Well, great. Congratulations. Huh? Welcome to the Foundation, son. Pablo fails to find words. Now get out of my house. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, sir. Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir. Pablo begins to walk out of the room. Leave the frog. Oh, yes, go on, Wilgobert. Of course, sire. How could I refuse the first audience member of our new retired Wilgobert the Bard? Clemens looks over at Pablo with a forced smile and raised eyebrows. We'll be in touch. Of course, sir. Thank you again, sir. Pablo leaves the room. So shall we begin? SCP-8012 hops into Clemens' shoulder. Ahem. End log. In keeping with the resolutions made in the log above, Pablo Smith has been hired and assigned head researcher of SCP-8012. SCP-8012 has been reclassified as Euclid. The end. Note: at this requirement for remaining within containment to tell the story properly, SCP-8012 has been allowed to add various images to this document. We ask that you do not remove or criticize them, at risk of hurting the object's feelings. Thank you, Head Researcher Pablo Smith. This is Dr. Messino. This was actually a long one. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next SCP video.